It's Lindsay, and it is Tuesday, February 17th, 2026, and I'm just gonna talk here briefly because these past few days have been very strange. Okay, and yeah, I'm just documenting this. For my own, obviously my own, because okay, yeah. So this man, this Valdez Lewis, has been hoovering a lot lately, a lot of intensive hoovering, coming over here and coming here in the mornings. Yeah. First of all, yesterday I was had finished doing my working out, and I'm very busy. I stay very, very busy. Whether people believe that or not, that's not my concern because I know what I know, and I know, who I am. But I try to wake up pretty early every morning. I try to stick to my routine because it helps me and it keeps me sane. And I love what I do as far as all that working out and exercising and doing. I love it. It's very much a part of my life. It's a big deal to me, and it makes me feel alive and invigorated and content. So in meditating and whatnot, it helps to heal my soul, spirit, mind, body, these kinds of things. So that's something I've been doing for many years, and just because I'm in a different environment, I'm still doing pretty much the same type thing, just not in a environment where there's a lot of people and a lot of televisions and in distractions. So I'm able to focus more on what I'm doing, thank goodness, and not having to drive so much because honestly, it was a waste of money, a waste of time, a waste of my energy. The frustration of driving that much in the traffic or in the rain or whatever conditions, and it was just getting to the point where I was just wasting my time and money doing that when I was getting nothing out of it and not even getting paid, even though I was at that place pretty much. I'm talking about Gold's Gym. For many years, I was there every single day, rain or shine, unless the place was closed or if I was sick. I was there for several hours a day, and that was the good last 10 years of my life have been like that. So it's quite an adjustment, but I've gotten used to being here at home, even though it's either way too cold or too hot, and I get used to that. But I'm able to really discipline myself. It can be uncomfortable. The machine I have is not, working properly necessarily, but whatever. It's okay for now because I've got my other things I can do. It's just for me, it's fine. And at some point, eventually, I'll probably keep on investing in my own home equipment because to me, it's worth having my own home gym. Makes a lot of sense to me because there's so much to do around here. Cooking, I love cooking. I cook almost every day, pretty much. I love cooking. I have to clean. I have to do laundry. I have to do things around this house. It's a lot of stuff that has to be done, and I'm always working on little things and doing my YouTube videos and learning new things and just staying busy, which I'm always busy. Sometimes I should just stay in bed and sleep till 10 or 11, but I kind of try to force myself to get up even if I'm not wanting to. But if I want to, I can. Nobody's going to try to prevent me from doing that. It's my life. And I'm trying to work from home. But what's happening is that, as usual, this man who I was, okay, obviously this man, Luis Valdez, assumed that I suppose obviously the entire time that I was involved with him, I guess he just saw me as somebody he was never going to take seriously, and I was just somebody who he was going to exploit sexually or whatever or financially and just be his a plaything, somebody who was just there to serve his purposes of what he needed. That's what he was assuming, that I was going to be like a side chick or something while he was out looking for someone else, or probably involved seriously with somebody else the entire time I think I was with him, or because he was always just saying that I was his friend, or I really care about you and you're my friend and you're my good, all that kind of shit, but obviously all he wanted is something, well, I don't even want to talk about it, but it's just go figure. Go ahead and take a wild guess about what this man was after. And it was controlling me, controlling my finances, or trying to control my body, my finances, as well as trying to manipulate and gaslight is what he was very skilled at doing, which it's just odd because I've never had... it's like, what are you trying to fucking do? You're not my man. He acts like such a control freak, I've talked about how the way he would treat me and the way he would behave was like a fucking police officer or a cop or a probation officer or a corrections officer or an agent of some kind of handler. That was how he would behave. It's like, and it was very odd because it's like, shit, I'm a very independent, autonomous person, and nobody's gonna tell me how to think or what to do or what the fuck, and ironically enough, as I've talked about before, it all happened during that probate thing that I was going through. It all was so coordinated, the timing, the patterns of exactly when I was going through, when I was going through that whole probate situation in Kerrville regarding Alan Baldwin, who may or may not be my biological father. Nonetheless, it was so obvious to me that was all a setup, that this man was sent to distract me, to act as a handler, to try to control me, to control my finances, to try to exploit me and obviously profit off of it somehow. And who hired him to do that? Who's behind that? I suspect either the judge in the court case had something to do with it, that Melinda Luna, and this sibling of mine, and maybe even my mother. That's obvious, because why else would he, or even somebody in Bob Sussman's family, because it just seems it was not, none of that was a coincidence or an accident or just some random man who found me on some Plenty of Fish dating site. It was all very obviously coordinated. And as I talked about before, and I'll keep talking about it because it's turned into, and it's not that, because I'm going to write a book about this and make money. Hopefully I'm going to be able to get copyright, to my own fucking identity's been stolen, but I'm going to make I plan to turn this into something that's going to benefit me financially, because what this man has done to me and what these people have tried to do to me, as far as trying to discredit me, destroy me, kill me, have me dead, basically assassined so that I'm a nobody, ruin my career, ruin everything about myself that I enjoyed. That's what these people were aiming to do, and I survived and fought. But that's the intentions of what this man was trying to do to me, and it was obvious that he had a motive, ulterior motive, which was to destroy me, destroy anything that I had in life that I enjoyed. And I see that, and I guess because of some kind of financial obligation or some kind of what the fuck. And you have to ask yourself, when people come into your life like that, who are they working for? Some fucking IRS? Some kind of something? What is it? I'm sorry, but if it has to do with some debts, I'm not the only person in the world who owes a little bit of fucking debt, okay? And I'm working on that, so leave me the fuck alone. And when it comes to the fucking IRS and the feds, you know how aggressive these people are. This man would act like a goddamn, like a bounty hunter or something. So, he's very aggressive, aggressive. And then he gets aggressive, and it's kind of frightening because he can be, it's just odd. Because when these people don't get their way with you, when you turn them down and say no and stand your ground, they act out and it's kind of frightening how they turn into like a fucking monster or like an animal. And that's an animal because obviously people know that people are animals. It's most men especially, they have animal instincts, and especially when they're predatory type men who are sex addicts, somatic narcissistic type men are always on the prowl looking for something to satisfy that that unsatiable sex addiction that they have. And this is just a fact that a lot of men, and there's women like that, but that's less common, I think. I mean, that's kind of creepy, I think, a woman who's that way, but there are women like that, I suppose. But I've seen men throughout my life, and they just they like hunt, it's dangerous. It's weird because they get obsessed, even if you've been with them only a few times and you don't want anything serious with them, or you broke up with them or whatever, and still they come back around, and it's like, why do they do that? Why doesn't somebody, if something's over, just walk away and say that, why do they have to come back and try to cause more problems and chaos and drama like this man does, when clearly, since he was lying to me the whole time, trying to get me, I was so committed to somebody and honest and straightforward and transparent with the man who was just basically taking advantage of me maybe having some emotional distress, or maybe, depression or anxiety or some bogus fucking mental diagnosis that they take. I'm not bipolar. I'm not schizophrenic or anything like that. And, paranoid a little bit because I know I'm under surveillance, but there's a big difference between a person who's out there screaming at everybody, talking to themselves and acting crazy and paranoid. I'm not like that, but I can get angry in my own home because I know that I'm under surveillance, and I talk about it a lot. And so this man was taking advantage of all of my quote-unquote weaknesses, when in fact I see that as my strength. I tolerate, there's only so much a person is going to tolerate, especially when you're a female, and it has to do with a male who's like trying to just like, all he wants is basically just like using your body and trying to take control of your life and just treating you like a fucking sex object or whatever, or somebody who's there to serve his needs or demands almost. I mean, it's just weird because it's like, what the fuck are you, a human trafficking? What are you, a pimp? Are involved with sex trafficking, human trafficking, or what? You have to wonder, you have to really wonder what these people really are involved with, or who their connections are, because it's kind of crazy how they behave, how entitled and how disrespectful some of this behavior on his end was. And I just started to get used to it, where it was expected of me. He'd come over here and it was just expected of me to do something, and it was like it was becoming who I am, defining who I was. And that's not who I am. I know that that's not who I am. And it makes a person feel shameful. It makes you feel confused. It makes you feel embarrassed. It makes you feel overwhelmed and anxious, especially when the person considers you just to be a friend, and you know that they're lying to you about the fact that they're with other people. And you ask them, so, hey, are you doing this with other women? Because I would ask him blatantly, how many women have you been doing this with since you've known me? And he would say, no, you're the only one. I haven't been intimate with anybody since I've known you. I mean, what? Really? Oh, okay. Yet here I am, the dumb fool, being loyal to a man who's just doesn't give a shit about me or respects me whatsoever, just takes advantage and sees me as some kind of a cheap whore, which I'm not. I know that I'm not, but that's how I was starting to feel, just tainting my clothes, my bed, my furniture. I mean, come on, taking advantage. Like what kind of a person grows up treating women like that? What kind of people raise a man like that, to grow up like that or to be like that, is what I don't understand, because he seems like it's confusing, because where does he get that kind of, where does a person learn all that horrible, unless they're like some kind of a porno addict or some kind of something. Why do they behave like that? It's puzzling that a person would behave, unless they're like an escort or a prostitute themselves, or maybe a dancer, like a male stripper or a porno actor. I can't begin to fathom why a man would behave like that. And it shows me that the man doesn't have respect. It shows me that a man who behaves like that has no respect for women, who has no respect for people's boundaries, and who has no respect for a person's spiritual side. And it's like, that's just kind of, I don't quite understand that, because I know that I'm far from perfect, but damn it, I respect myself and I have integrity, but I'm not going to be pushed and deceived and lied to and manipulated and exploited and used by anybody. After what I've went through and learned a lesson from that, being basically lied to, and he was using me, and he's with someone. Well, he's still with someone. He's with someone else, and he's lied about he lied about the Facebook, saying that the woman hacked into his Facebook. Oh, whatever. Yeah, right, sure. She took his phone, hacked into his Facebook, and put all those photos and all those comments, even though his family members put comments about, oh, when is a wedding and all that. Oh, really? But he's lying, and he's saying that she did all that? That she's the one who hacked into his phone and did all that? I don't think so. I think I think what happened clearly is that he fucked up, and he's trying to come back to me because he knows he met that girl. He's known her for I don't know how long, but since August of 2025, they've apparently been a couple, and it's pretty serious. And then he tells me that they've never been intimate. I'm like, well, oh, really? Yet she's your girlfriend and your fiance or whatever, according to your Instagram and Facebook, but you've never been intimate with her, right? No, not at all. Sure. And then he says that he rejected her, and so now she's stalking him and doing shit to stalk. Oh, really? Really? I'm really supposed to believe that? It's comical. It's comical that he thinks that I'm that gullible. So at some stage, when you know that you're being lied to, and that whoever this woman is that he got involved with, maybe she fucked him over pretty bad, or maybe she's involved with some kind of black magic, or I don't know, but you never know. I do not know her. All I know is that he seems to have found his match made in heaven, and that they seem to be so happy and so in love, and they're just such a perfect couple. And look at all the photos on Facebook and Instagram that he found the love of his life, and look at me, I'm so happy, and look at, we're gonna get married and we're engaged, and oh, and I've met her, wow, that happened so quickly, all in the span of like 5 months, or whatever, since August of 2025, and now, and wow, that happened real fast. You certainly move pretty quickly, don't you? Yet, what was up? Yet you're still coming over here and trying to get involved with me? I'm a little bit. Could you explain that, please? Because I see what you're doing, but here's the thing: when you try to get an answer from these types of individuals, when you know they've been caught red-handed in a lie, they're not gonna tell you that they lied. They're gonna. What they'll do is, you can sense that when you ask them, you can tell that they're lying, and that they might feel a little bit of remorse or a little bit of guilt or shame or something. But a person who truly, for example, if this man really cared, quote unquote, whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean, cared about me and respected me as an individual, he wouldn't have done that. You don't do that to someone who you respect. You just don't. I would never do that. If I know that I have a serious boyfriend, or that I'm in a serious relationship with somebody, but they're being dishonest with me, well, what the fuck, you expect me to not try to meet somebody? But yeah, he knew that I was on a dating site, and that I was, because he told me that I was nothing but a friend, but why did he lie to me and say that he had not been with anybody else? All he had to do was be honest, and that's it. I just close the fucking door, and that's walk away. I don't chase after a man. Once they tell me that they've been intimate with someone else, that clearly shows me that he's not interested, that I'm not good enough for him. And you know what? I am good enough for anybody, I think, and I'm good enough for myself. And if he doesn't like that, too fucking bad. How dare you have the audacity, the hubris for this man to keep coming back into my fucking life and trying to shake up my life and distract me when I'm doing just fine. I never needed him in the first place. As a matter of fact, I think I look back and I realized that ever since this man got involved with me, all the fucking problems, all the money I lost, all the fucking time I wasted, all the insults and backhanded compliments and horrible shit, the smear campaign at the gym, his making fun of me, his mocking me, his making fun of my hair, or making fun of my clothing and my perfume, every fucking thing about me, what I eat, my body, everything. Every fucking thing about me, he had to make some goddamn, comparing me to all these other women, all his exes, comparing me to women at his work, like he's some kind of a hot shot. Oh yeah, Mr. Arrogant, because I work at such and such, and I get to wear a suit and tie, and I'm a smooth talking salesman. Well, good, sir. I'm happy for you. So what the fuck do you want with me then? You and I are total fucking opposites. I'm so not like that. I'm not like that. It's not my personality to be a pushy, aggressive person. It's not in me to be like that. Why would I need to be like that? I don't need to be like that. And I see no reason to behave like that because it's just not who I am. I consider myself to be a genuine, honest, down-to-earth person who treats people the way I want to be treated. And when they fucking disrespect me and they lie to me, well, they're going to get the same goddamn thing in return. You fuck with me, my mind, my integrity, and lie to me and treat me like I'm stupid, well, maybe you're going to see something coming, And that goes for anybody. So-called family who did this with the inheritance dispute, all this shit, thinking I'm so dumb that I don't know how to fight back, that I'm some little coward who's going to obey and, wither away in the corner and cry. No, I fight. I stand up for myself because I know that no one else is going to fucking do it. Okay, I've had to learn to fight for everything that I own, that I have had to fight for. I've worked my ass off for what I do have. I have busted my ass for what I do have. Okay, and I have worked my ass off over the years, busting my ass for what I do have. What possessions I own, I've worked for it, god damn it. And I don't need anybody to try to disrespect me or try to compare me to so-and-so when I know who the fuck I am. Who the fuck are they to tell me who I am? You don't know shit about what I've been through or who I am. You have no fucking idea what I've gone through. Okay, and these people, you'll find these narcissistic psychopath type individuals that are so sex addict, controlling womanizers, and alcoholics usually, or coke addicts, whatever the fuck it is they do. Usually they're alcoholics, and usually they're cocaine addicts or heroin or some goddamn meth or whatever it is, and they lie about that. He lies. He's a fucking I can tell that the guy's on fucking cocaine or strung out on something because he's so hyper. He's got to be on something, and they keep losing so much weight. Like, what the fuck kind of drugs are you on? I mean, I'm just saying that, like, it's weird. Because he's a liar. And it's like, you can give these people compliments and treat them like a god, and they still fucking disrespect you. They still treat you like a fucking doormat. So that doesn't do any good. Don't treat them, because all they're looking for is they come over hoovering to fish for compliments and to try to get you in the fucking bed, to try to get something, and then they disappear again for a while, and then they come back, they go find someone else. They have intimacy and little escapades and little one-night stands, and they probably get a few STDs along the way. And then they try to come back to Hoover about a month or later or whatever, and they lead people on. They lie. They hurt people. They destroy families. They destroy other relationships. They destroy people's finances. They'll destroy your health. And this is all very true. This is all very true with these individuals. Very calculated what they do. Very, very calculated. It's not any accident that happened to me. He was targeting me for hate and spite because he's envious of what I have. He's jealous, like a jealous, competitive man who has to do a one-up on, like a fucking, it's always got to be a goddamn fucking game, a basketball or a match with these people. Everything's a competition. And if you have to be in competition with your so-called partner or significant other, then what the fuck is a point? This is not a goddamn basketball game, asshole. Seriously. It's exhausting. It's exhausting because they drain your fucking energy. And usually when they're a foot fucking taller than you and they treat you like that, they're just using you. Go get with someone your own fucking be a bully with someone your own goddamn size and quit bullying me and treat me like a goddamn doormat. It's just horrible. And me letting him do that is what's even worse. So I see that I'm the one who keeps on letting him back in my fucking house. It's my fault too, but they smooth talk. Oh, I miss you, baby. I really care about you. And then they say they love you. Bullshit. And give you a cookie or something, or here's a cookie. But everything is like, there's always some goddamn meaning behind it. It's not genuine care or love at all. It's always some kind of something. What can you do for me? What can you do for me? And you have to look this way for me. Why? So to protect your fucking status? Go find a goddamn mannequin and put some fucking clothes on her and take that around town on a goddamn dog leash. Okay? That's what you need. That's what he needs is a fucking robot that looks like a goddamn prostitute that can wear a tight little skirt and high heels and red lipstick and a fucking long black wig. And there you go, sir. Or a long, whatever the fuck, red or blonde, whatever he's got so many. It's like they fantasize. Just get a fucking sex toy robot, dude. Because he has no genuine feelings for anybody at all. He hates me. He probably hates every woman he's ever been with because of whatever happened with his ex-wife, and now this woman he fucked around with, this Puerto Rican, or who he met, this dancer girl who's probably a fucking I don't know what she does, but you know what? Oh, I'm sorry. She's involved with life insurance, so whatever these people have been, whatever the fuck they've been doing against me, I can imagine that their little duo, all that shit on his Facebook was meant to trigger me, obviously. I see it. I saw it for what it is. I'm not a fool. Don't lie to me about that shit. I'm not dumb. Nice try to get me back, but that's not going to happen. And I even told him, I said, look, I already know you're a liar. You're a womanizer. You're a player. How could I ever trust someone like you in my house? How could I ever, letting these people in your home is just asking to get to fucking let off a nuclear bomb in your house, basically. It's just asking for trouble because they're going to lie, and eventually that's going to become violent. They're going to steal from you. They're going to get into your documents. They're going to steal your finances, your jewelry, if you have any heirlooms, and they're going to poison your fucking food is what they'll do. And I can assure you that you women, or you people, better wake the fuck up. You see a man in a fancy goddamn suit who looks good, talks a fucking talk, knows how to behave. Yeah, watch out behind closed doors, because he's probably living a double life as a closet gay or bisexual, and he's got other women and other girlfriends and whatnot. They do. They need to have multiple, and I've talked about this ad nauseum, how these kinds of individuals, these men, in this case, they cannot just have one person. They have to have at least 4, 5, 6 people or women or whatever, servants or slaves to adhere to their demands. They don't know how to remain loyal to anybody. Why to think that he got a fucking divorce in the first place? Because he was cheating on her. That's why, or what, vice versa, because he was fucking cheating. Once a cheater, always a fucking cheater. They never change. They don't. They just don't. So it's just asking for trouble. If you want a monogamous relationship, then look at the man's history. Look at why they got divorced, and it's right there, and you'll figure out, well, do I want to waste time with the man who's going to fucking break my heart and hurt me and lead me on and invest all my fucking energy and time in somebody who's fucking with my head, or do I want to walk away and look the opposite direction? That's what you have to decide, because it's only up to you. You're the one in control. Realize that you're in control. When they come back to Hoover, it shows a sign of weakness on their end. They don't give a shit about you. They're coming back because they're weak. They're pathetic, and they fucked up in their new relationship, so they have to come back with their fucking tail between their legs like a dog who, got a spanking. because he knows he fucked up. And he's like, oh, this girl, look at this hot girl I met dancing, and she's so perfect, and she's a Latina, and oh, she's my dream. And he, probably spent ungodly amounts of money on her, and probably took her out on vacations, and God only knows. But I can tell you that he's a fucking player. He never did anything like that for me, not one fucking thing like that. Did he ever? No, nothing. Cheap, cheap, cheap. If it was anything for me, it was always discount, sale rack, a cookie here and there, and stuff to insult my body or my intelligence or it was never anything that was actually of anything it was always meant to insult me or make me gaslight me or make me question my own reality. Every gift, every fucking thing he did was meant to insult me. Either about my body, about anything that he could do. It's evil, and they are evil. I'm just saying they are fucking evil. And why? Because they've got their own goddamn fucking childhood trauma that they don't want to deal with. And that's not my problem anymore, okay? I'm done trying to, I did my end, I did my work and I'm not going to do it anymore because it's a waste of my life. I'm 51 fucking years old. I don't have time for bullshit games with the fucking player who doesn't know what the fuck he wants, because every goddamn day there's a new woman who sparks his interest anyway. And he's going to fornicate till his fucking dick rots off and get all kinds of STDs, and he's going to lie about that. And because, by the way, these people refuse to get an STD check. You'll say, well, do you have you gotten an HIV test before? And they'll lie about that. They'll refuse to do anything like that, which is another form of disrespect, because that shows that they're probably hiding something. It's just weird. It's very strange. Their mannerisms, and it's just odd, and it gets to the point where you become fascinated with how fucked up it is, and it's like a trap, but at the same time, it's just weird. So he comes over here yesterday, as soon as I'm eating, he comes out there and starts, I was trying to walk in the house, I was sitting outside enjoying the sun, eating and looking at studying something, reading a book, and then he has to interfere with that and starts ruining my day lunch, that I love to cook. That's a problem. That I like to cook, it's a problem. What I eat, it's your fucking business what I fucking eat or what I do. I'm a vegetarian and I like to cook my own fucking food. What's the problem? That he has to shame me about that. So he comes over, first of all, I heard him knocking on, and I just ignored him. And so then he comes to the backyard, and I'm like, oh God. So I sat out there for just in silence while I'm finishing my food, and he's just staring at me. And I'm like, what's the problem? I'm like, why are you here? What do you want? Why can't you just leave me alone? And then I tried to walk inside, and he pushed his way through the door. He literally, I tried to shut the door, and he forced the door open, and back door. And so then he's like cornering me in the kitchen, basically like, I'm like, what the fuck, I need you. I miss you, baby. I want to be with you. I can't, I really miss you. And I'm like, yeah, according to your Facebook, really? Yeah. It was hacked. He starts off with all the fucking bullshit lies. I'm like, oh, yeah, exactly. Sure, yeah. Okay, whatever. And so then, but it's just fucking weird. And then this man does not, and I said, you know what, Lewis, if you really, let me go to your house. Let's go to your house. I want to meet I want to see where you live for once. After 3 years, let me see where you live. Okay? Let's go to your house. I want to see your room. I want to see your house inside. Okay, okay. So I was like, oh my God, we're going to actually go, I'm going to get to go see his house or whatever, meet his mother or whatever. So I did. We drove there, he drove there, and we went to his house. I met his mother, and that's it. We talked for a while, all the three, whatever, and he showed me his room. I saw his house, and we looked at some photographs, and his mother was a nice lady, she seemed like a nice woman. I don't know her very well. That's the first time I've ever met her, obviously, but I don't know what's going on in that household. I don't know really but he lives in a room over there, and he's got all, but it's just, I got to see where he lived. I was like, wow, finally, after all this time. So, but I was never good enough to meet your mother. I was never good enough to go to your house. But now all of a sudden, it's like it's okay. It's just weird after 3-year mark. Yet he's got another girlfriend, and it's like, oh, okay. It's just odd. It's very strange the way these people manipulate and gaslight. But it is what it is, and I just realized that there's no point in my trying to interpret everything, because it's not, these people don't change. They don't take relationships seriously. Clearly, they don't have any respect. Or if they do, they show a real fucking odd way of showing respect. And I just honestly don't have time for it. There's people, now I just want to be alone. I don't want to be with anybody right now. I want to focus on myself, what I'm doing, and take time just for me, and not be intimate with anybody, especially somebody who doesn't even give a shit about me. Why would I, or doesn't respect me? It's just stupid. It's a waste of my time. It's a waste of his time, since he's always going to be looking for the next shiny, better object anyway, who's got a better body or who can dance to the fucking merengue, Puerto Rican, boo, yada, yada. He's all into, it's like he and I are complete I don't like that kind of music. I don't even like, we have almost nothing in common, really. I don't like, I'm not into like the Dominican, Puerto Rican, Black, African kind of Afro stuff that he is. And if he is, that's fine. I'm not really, that's not me. And whatever, to each his own. I know that I'm complete. I know what kind of music I like. I know what kinds of books I like, and I know my personality. I'm not that, I don't like that kind of fucking it's not, that culture doesn't attract my attention. It's just not, I don't like rap music. I don't like the Afro, I don't like dread. None of that stuff appeals to me. None of it. And it's just not who I am. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry for being who I am. It's just who I am. I'm not into that. And I know it's just like he and I are completely fucking opposite. He makes fun of the music I like. He doesn't like what I like. He mocks everything about my likes and personality and makes fun. It's just weird. It's just like, what do you, then what the fuck are you doing? Why do you, what do you, oh, I know why you're with me. Gee, I know what you want. Duh. Hello. Okay, yeah. But, he's just weird. So he shows up today. I'm exercising. He shows up like he says he's on his way to work. He shows up with the fucking Circle K thing of coffee, because we had talked about coffee the other day. And I said, yeah, I don't really like coffee. I don't drink it that much, but maybe I would try just some black coffee with maybe some sugar or something. But I didn't expect, I was like, yeah, but it's not really I don't really drink, I'm not much of a coffee drinker. So he shows up today when I'm on the treadmill with a cup of coffee from Circle K and then some cookies. And I'm like, Lewis, and he keeps on trying to get me to drink the coffee. I'm like, Lewis, I'm in the middle of my fucking workout. I don't want to drink some hot mocha coffee with sugar right now. Thank you. I don't, I'm thinking, did you fucking put something in there? What's a big, and he's like trying to pressure me into drinking some coffee that he got from Circle K. And I'm like, I don't want any. And another thing that I noticed was that yesterday morning, something from Amazon that I ordered, was it yesterday? Yeah. They showed up in the driveway. Whoever it was from Amazon showed up, and I saw them pull up behind my car like around 8:30 in the morning, and they were driving a Ford Fusion, a blue Ford Fusion. I'm like, oh my God, what is he doing here at this hour, I'm thinking. And I just kept looking at the machine while I'm exercising, and then the car disappeared. When I looked back, I'm like, what the fuck? Why went away that quickly? And this was yesterday morning, and it was the same it was a Ford Fusion, a blue Ford Fusion, just like the car that this Valdez guy drives. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I realized it was and I went outside after a while and realized it It was an Amazon delivery person, but why would they have they never park in the driveway right behind my car. They don't ever do that, and I've never seen one driving a Ford Fusion, so that was meant to fucking gaslight me. I saw that yesterday happen. I guess people think I don't notice everything, but I did. I saw that. And then today, and then yesterday and then he shows up in the afternoon, this Valdez, because it was his day off, I guess. And then, trying to get me to go to this Indian. I'm like, Lewis, I cooked my food. I don't want to go there today. It's kind of a long drive, and I'm going to eat at home. It's okay. I'm just going to cook my food here. It's just, he's so controlling. Like, what a fucking control freak. And then he, like I said, when he shows up today, he's, and then yesterday I was listening, he was talking about a text message he got from his coworker named Danielle, and it was about somebody named Garza, a client named Garza, so-and-so, Ada, or somebody starts with an A, Garza, who's a client of this Danielle, who he works with at the Saks Fifth Avenue shoe department, supposedly, who's going to be returning something. Or he was like reading this long text message that was supposedly sent from this Danielle guy about some client name with the last name Garza. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'm like, yeah, interesting, I'm thinking, but I'm not going to tell this man. He's just waiting for me to tell him. I'm not saying a fucking word about anything. I don't have to. About this man knows enough about me, and when he doesn't know, he hacks into my devices and probably finds out shit illegally by surveillance. So I kept my mouth shut. And then, like I said, he shows up today with the fucking coffee from Circle K and the cookies, acting all, what is going on? Are you going to a fucking court hearing? Are you going to, who is this man? What are you doing? What do you want with me? And why are you all of a sudden trying to love bomb and re-enter my life when I know that you fucking are with someone else or whatever? What the fuck is why me? What do you want from me? What is it? Why me? What the fuck? I'm thinking. And I'm like, I don't have the fucking energy to start arguing with him. I want to continue what I'm doing and, just go about my day without being interrupted. It's not like I would go to this is my fucking work. It is work for me. What I do takes a lot of fucking energy. I'm a psych. I have abilities that are psychic. I have things that I have to take a lot of fucking energy that takes time and energy to do what I do. And it's not easy work. It's a lot of fucking mirroring, soul searching, and work that most people don't want to do because they're too goddamn lazy to do the fucking work that I do. And they're too goddamn chicken shit to do any kind of introspection. They don't want to because they don't like to look in the fucking mirror to see who they really are. Whereas I do like to do that. So he tries to mirror me. He tries to imitate me. He tries to confuse me. He tries to meddle in my... he wants to know about this and that. Why do you want to know about that? Because you have a financial interest or, you see me as a commodity or a tax return or a business opportunity or an investment or something. Is there something that I'm not being told? Some kind of document or forged or identity theft or what's going on here? What the fuck is it? Because clearly there's something that this man has been doing to me to make money off of me. Somehow, probably illegally. That's what I feel like. That's what I think. He's guilty. He's guilty of something for sure. And I can tell from the way he fucking behaves that he's up to something. So it's like, whatever, dude. Let's just play your little game. Let's just keep playing your fucking game. But I know what you're doing, but I'm going to go ahead and play. Since you're an actor, you think you're an actor, and let's just play... well, yeah. This is what he wants, is to just play fucking mind games and emotional, manipulative, blackmailing, gaslighting bullshit that 12-year-olds and 15-year-olds and immature people do. I don't do that kind of shit to people. I don't think it's right to do that to people. I don't like lying to people. I don't like taking advantage of people. And I sure as a fuck don't steal from people. So I don't know what the fuck this guy is up. I mean, it's just crazy shit.